Hi everyone, my name's Bill Ward, and we're back on the air, and this is the rock.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. um, what a great way to start the show! 3 in a row, Metallica. That was from their Through the Never album, and couldn't think of a better choice than to have Metallica up front there and leading the way. It's February 2014. Our last show was in August 2013, and as I think probably most of you know, I got sick and pretty bad. Got pretty bad, and anyway, I'm doing much better. I'm getting healthier every day, moving forward, spiritually and physically. I'm very happy to report. Anyway, that's kind of where I'm at, to be current with everyone. I hope we've got a great show for you today. We've got all kinds of different things going on. We've got the Big Bopper, Richie, Buddy Holly Memorial, which we do every February. And also we got some really special stuff coming up from Dave Lombardo and a band called Philm. And we're also going to be playing some Led Zeppelin towards the end of the show. And, of course, we'll have a Happy Birthday Beatles song as well for you. So we've got a lot of different things. Wow. It really feels good to be back. For those of you just arriving, you're listening to Rock 50. That's our radio show. My name's Bill Ward, and we play hardcore music. Although that'll sound completely different in a couple of minutes, because it won't be hardcore music at all. We're going to be doing our special memorial for the Big Bopper, Buddy Holly, and Richie Valens, which we do every year. We've been doing it for years at Rock 50, and we ain't going to change it. So. On page 2, which you guys don't know about yet, we'll be playing Philm, and I'm going to spell that. It's Philm. We're going to play 3 tracks from Philm, and we're also going to feature a debut from Philm as well. So it'll be 4 tracks in all. Now, Philm, you may be asking, well, who's Philm? And Pancho Tomasilia plays bass and piano, and Jerry Nestia playing guitar, and he's a great guitarist. Wait until you hear this guy playing guitar. Vocals and piano. That's Jerry. And of course, on drums is a bud of mine. Is Dave Lombardo. And Lombardo kills. His drumming is so superb. And I think a lot of people obviously know him from the Slayer days.
Sure.
He played with Slayer for many, 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 many years. But he's stepping out. He's got his own things that he's working on. And so we got that stuff here today. It's a special, and it's part of a special thing that I'm trying to do. This year, I want to focus on drummers. Some well-known drummers and some lesser-known drummers. So every on each of our programs, all the way through to December, we're going to see if we can get a drummer and put the spotlight on the drummer and the band that he's in, and really try to bring that into the front.
Fantastic.
So I'm hoping it's going to be a nice addition to the show.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of that, I thought, well, we're featuring Dave today. It's his day, Dave Lombardo. But at the same time, right towards the end of our show, we are going to be featuring some very early Led Zeppelin songs to feature the master, John Bonham, of course. So. Okay, having said that, try not to miss this trio of great musicians. They'll be coming up right about noontime or thereabouts. And it's time now for our memorial dedication to Buddy Holly, the Big Bopper, and Richie Valens. They all perished in a plane crash on February the 3rd, 1959. Man, that seems like a real long time ago. I can still remember it. Still remember feeling the shock and just the whole thing. It was just like, oh, this is, and I didn't think anything could happen to the pop stars or the rock stars of that era. And things can happen, as we've sadly found out over the years. And these originals in rock and roll helped to pave the shape of things to come. And it's that simple. They wrote great stuff. Here, held forever in our hearts and rock history, here's the Big Bopper, Richie Valens, and Buddy Holly. Oh, yes. Oh, still gets you there, right there, after so many years, man. That was our little memorial that we do every year. I'll go over the songs that we played. Chantilly Lace, of course, that's the Big Bopper. La Bamba, Richie Valens, and then Buddy was singing True Love Ways. Love the sax on that. I was saying to you, the saxophone it still sounds exactly like how the saxes used to sound in the ballrooms back in the day. And I used to play gigs when I was 14, 15, where we would show up at these what I thought were huge ballrooms.
Right.
And but the sax always had that kind of solemn, sort of smoky sound, and but I was an apprentice drummer then, so I was kind of like wondering if I could get a sound off my snare drum. Would it even fill the room, which it didn't, of course. It was like some kind of like the days when we didn't have amplifiers and microphones. But anyway, that was True Love Ways, which I thought was a great Buddy Holly song. And then Not Fade Away. And obviously Bo Diddley, but how quick was Buddy Holly to dig that black sound and, make it white as well. So
and then everybody did it.
Then everybody, well, a lot of artists have certainly done, definitely, followed that way. So thanks, guys. Thanks for being who you were. Thanks for bringing us the wonderful music, and we'll see you again next year. And for those of you who are just joining us, you're listening to Rock 50. It's our radio show. My name is Bill Ward. And we've just been playing 3 tracks from the band called Philm, and from the album Harmonic. Again, Dave Lombardo, long-time drummer with Slayer. Obviously, Dave can also play a lot of good jazz, which I think showed up in the last 3 tracks. Guitarist Jerry Nestia, bass guitarist Pancho Tomaselli. Great tracks. You can still hear the aggression underneath. There's a lot of great effects being used, and I like the moods and there's a kind of a almost sinister underlying. Whereas before, when I remember some of the bands from the late 60s, we were always down the Marquee Club down in Water Street, London. It wasn't quite the same, but, I like what the Philm are doing. They're bringing something that's really listenable, and at the same time that's you can hear the hardcore rock and the hardcore underneath everything. But at the same time, it's got so many. They're pushing boundaries, and they have a way of delicacy about them. They sound very respectful towards each other, and that is one of the biggest keys that you can have in a rock band. When people respect each other's playing, and they respect each other, and they know when to move over and ebb and flow, I always felt like I had that kind of relationship with Geezer. We would ebb and flow together, and sometimes we'd all end up on the same spot, in Sabbath. But Terry and Geezer and I had that similar respect, you know. So I think it's great stuff. I think we're going to hear a lot more of Philm. I wanted to do something special today because in dedication to John Bonham, we're going to play the first some songs from the first couple of albums that Zeppelin ever did, and you know, again, something which I had said on the YouTube interview statement that I made was about if you want to listen to want to strive towards something, then just listen to John Bonham. You know, he's has to be the finest rock drummer of our time, as far as I'm concerned. But what I wanted to do was to show off his expertise and show examples of really what can be achieved when you have somebody like Bonham playing drums. Particularly if there are drummers listening, particularly listen to the footwork. You've probably already heard these tracks before, but just listen to his footwork. It's complete magic, you know. And so we're gonna do some Led Zeppelin stuff, okay? I've chosen 3 Led Zeppelin songs that show off John Bonham's brilliant drumming. Enjoy, and here's Good Times, Bad Times. Led Zeppelin featuring John Bonham. I'm going to go over what we played. Good Times, Bad Times, Immigrant Song, Dazed and Confused. And I love those songs. And let me just go on with this. The tracks we played serve as a great example of what can be achieved in footwork and precision. John Bonham is and always will be a classic example of the finest in rock drummers. And what more can you say, you know? He's just, he's the go-to guy. Wow, we're over time. We've run out of time, haven't we? And we haven't done the Beatles yet.
You can't run over.
That's right, we can't run over on this show. That's right, we cannot. Okay. I really hope everybody enjoyed the show today. It's diverse. If there are any drummers listening, I'm sure you probably had a good time. And I hope everybody else did as well, of course. It's time to say adios, so I'm going to say thank you, Mike. It's nice to be back. It's nice to be back with you.
It's such a pleasure to have you back here, man. I've missed you.
Yeah, I felt missed and I've been missed. So thank you. I want to thank Lisa. Thumbs up on Lisa. I want to thank Jones. I hope you're having a good day today. Jones got sick as well, Mike. Yeah, he's okay, though. He's still with us.
He's not going anywhere. He's too tough.
Yeah, sometimes he is. I want to thank Bird. I want to thank everyone for checking in. Stay safe, everybody. Stay strong. Thanks for all the love. I love you too. I was going to try and set up the Jensen story, the Jensen Interceptor story, because it actually goes with the Beatles' Happy Birthday. You know, let me first say, Beatles, Happy Birthday. Thank you for making my life what it is, and thank you for everything that you gave me. And has to be, like so many other musicians, the most influential band in the world, and they were so absolutely brilliant. So having said that, I want to just say a little story and wish them a very happy birthday, of course. A little story. One night I wanted to go down to the pub. I was about 22 years old and we were doing pretty good as Black Sabbath, you know. But one of my favourite songs was A Day in the Life, which is going to be played shortly. And anyway, I got in the car to go down the pub. And the car was a Jensen Interceptor, which, if you don't know what that is, it's a very fast sports car. And I was a bit tipsy before I got in the car, and I drove the car along the road too quickly and oversteered and I had a really, really bad automobile accident. I flipped the car twice and landed in a ditch with the wheels spinning, and a car stopped and they had to drag me out of the car, and it was a real, real bad scene. And all the time, A Day in the Life had been playing. And when the car landed for the final time in the ditch, it was on the piano at the end, where the piano, boom, down, and hit the car, and it was just so fitting. Had I had a passenger, I probably wouldn't be here telling this story today. I didn't have a passenger. I turned the ignition off, undid my seatbelt, and rolled over. So that's probably what saved my life. But all the way through, A Day in the Life played, and I somehow kind of made it fit that it saved my life and ended so well on that dark note that they play at the end. A Day in the Life I thought was absolutely brilliant. When I heard it from Sgt. Pepper, it's just like, my God, where are these guys going? And of course, they wrote so much brilliant music. I think it's so nice that they did celebrate their birthday, even though John and George were with us in spirit, but just seeing the creativity and everything that they've done. And it brought back for me a lot of kind of sad memories, to be honest, but it also brought back a lot of really cool things as well. So it was a mixture for me. And let's play A Day in the Life, and we'll see everybody next month.